हेलो एंड वेलकम बैक टू योर ओन यूट्यूब चैनल योर ओन पाठशाला ज्योतिशाला। तो फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप सभी? आशा करती हूँ आप सभी अच्छे ही होंगे। तो चलिए क्लास की शुरुआत करते हैं। तो आज हमारी क्लास में हम पढ़ेंगे शेक्सपियर के प्ले जूलियस सीजर को। तो आज हम शुरू करेंगे एक्ट 3 सीन 1 के साथ। तो पहले मैं आपको एक समरी दे देती हूँ ताकि आपको टेक्स्ट पढ़ने में आसानी होगी। तो चलिए शुरुआत करते हैं। सो द सीन टेक्स प्लेस in front of the Capitol in Rome, in front of the Capitol. So what is the summary of the play? So why I need to give a summary so that it will be easy for you to understand the main text. So let's begin with the summary of the play. The scene takes place outside the Capitol. There is a crowd of people in the street leading to the Capitol. Among them are Artemidorus and the soothsayer. In the last scenes, or in the last act and scenes, we have learnt about Artemidorus, who Artemidorus was and who the soothsayer was. So here we see that Artemidorus and the soothsayer are standing on the streets of Rome. They are waiting for Caesar to cross so that they can hand over their petitions to Caesar. So moving forward, Caesar arrives at the Capitol with Antony, Lepidus and the conspirators. So we have seen in the last scene of Act 2 that the conspirators came to Caesar's house to escort him to the Capitol. The same scene is continued here in Act 3, Scene 1. Trumpet sounds, and just as Caesar approaches, he sees the soothsayer and he reminds the soothsayer that the eyes of March are come. So the soothsayer reminds Caesar that what he has warned him earlier of. So he reminds him of the same. He warns him of the same, that the eyes of March have come. The soothsayer answers, sorry. Caesar here reminds the soothsayer that the eyes of March have come. So the soothsayer says, "A sir means yes, sir, but not gone." So the soothsayer says, "Though the eyes of March have come, but it is not gone. It is today." Artemidorus comes forward and urges Caesar to read his suit written on a piece of paper. So Artemidorus also approaches close to Caesar and requests him to read out his petition first, which is on a piece of paper. But Caesar shows his arrogance and importance and tells him that what touches him personally shall be read last of all. So here Caesar means to say, since he is in power, he should read the petitions of the other people, the commoners in who are present in the Capitol or in the Senate, and not what pertains to him the first. So this was the reason given by Caesar not to read the letter of the or the petition given by Artemidorus. So he neglects or he ignores the petition or the suit given by Artemidorus here. So Artemidorus shows his persistence on Caesar reading his suit. Persistence here means he emphasizes, Artemidorus emphasizes Caesar to read out his letter first. And Caesar gets irritated and tells Artemidorus to present his petition at the Capitol and not on the street. So we see Caesar getting irritated by the words of Artemidorus, that Artemidorus is emphasizing, insisting on Caesar to read his petition, his suit, his letter first. So Caesar shows his resistance that he will not read the letter first, and he requests Caesar himself requests Artemidorus to come to the Capitol or to the Senate and not on the street. He will not read any petition or any suit or any letter on the streets of Rome. But if Artemidorus has to present his suit, his petition, his letter, then he should be present. He should come and present it into the Capitol or to the Senate. So we moving forward with the summary of the play. Caesar leaves without reading the paper. Popilius, the senator, whispers something to Caesar, which makes the conspirators very anxious. So we see, since this play is significant, so we see a lot of people here gathered here in the Capitol or in the Senate. We see Artemidorus here, we see the soothsayer, we see the conspirators, we also see the commoners present here to in praise of Caesar. They were present there. So Caesar leaves without reading. So Caesar moves forward and he ignores Artemidorus' letters and he moves forward. So without reading the letter of handed over by Artemidorus, he does not take it in hand even. So Popilius the senator whispers something to Caesar. Popilius is one of the senators who whispers something in the ears of Caesar. So conspirators being standing there itself, they are very much anxious. They are very much curious to know what Popilius is speaking to Caesar. What Popilius is speaking to Caesar, and they're worried that whether this Popilius has come to know about their plans, about their plan or their plot, that they have, what with the intentions that they have come to the Senate. So they are worried whether Popilius has come to know about it. They are very worried about that. Moving forward, but their fears are put aside as Popilius smiles and Caesar's face does not show any fear of anger. So we see that after Popilius is speaking in the ears of Caesar, so we see that there is no change. Caesar shows no reaction at Popilius' words. So the conspirators, the conspirators are satisfied that Caesar is unaware of their Caesar is unaware of their conspiracy and is unaware of any of the thing. So they are satisfied because Caesar shows no such reactions at Popilius' words. So they come to know. So the conspirators are saved and secured, and they're satisfied that there is nothing wrong in the conversation between Popilius and Caesar. So moving forward, I hope this much is clear to you. Okay, this is just a summary, and when we'll read the text, you'll get to know more. Trebonius leads Antony away as planned by the conspirators. So, since Antony was also present along with Caesar, and we all know who Antony was. Antony was one of the good friends of Caesar. So he was always accompanying Caesar. So Antony was also present here. But that was the planning of the conspirators to make Antony away. How to make Antony away from Caesar? So to get rid of Antony from Caesar. So Trebonius came to the forefront for doing this. So Trebonius leads Antony away as planned by the conspirators. So this was the planning by the conspirators, how to make Antony away from Caesar. And Trebonius was successful in doing so. Means Trebonius performed his job well. He did his job well, and he was he was adamant enough to move away Antony who was close to Caesar. Okay, approaches. So Trebonius leads Antony away as planned by conspirators, and Caesar enters alone and sits down on the gilded chair. Gilded chair means a chair kept on a raised platform for Caesar to sit. So since Caesar was in power at that moment of time, so Caesar was given a seat among all the others on a raised platform. So Caesar alone was sitting on the chair on the raised platform. Metellus Cimber approaches Caesar, proffering plea that he should annul the sentence of banishing his brother. So Metellus Cimber was again one of the conspirators. So see, all the conspirators here were with an intention. So Metellus Cimber was one among the conspirators who came with an intention here, but he came with a petition also. Now, what was the petition? Metellus Cimber approaches Caesar, proffering a plea. Proffering means presenting a plea, means a request that he should annul the sentence of banishing his brother. So there was a brother, Metellus Cimber had a brother whose name was Publius Cimber. Publius Cimber, on some grounds, was put behind bars, was imprisoned by the rules of Rome. So he came with a Metellus Cimber, approached Caesar with a request to release his brother, Publius Cimber, to release his brother and to bestow him with the citizenship of Rome once again. So he came with that request, approached Caesar very close. He came to Caesar on bended knees, and he came and requested on bended knees. He was on his knees, bended low before Caesar. I hope this much is clear to you. Okay, Caesar shows his disgust. You can always leave your doubt in the comment section so that I can clarify your doubts even. Thank you. Moving forward, Caesar shows his disgust and in a high-handed manner refuses to alter his decision, declaring that Publius had been banished for valid reasons. So Caesar shows his disgust and in a high-handed manner refuses to alter his decision. So Caesar did not convince with what Caesar did not convince with what Metellus Cimber has requested, that is the freedom of his brother Publius Cimber. So he is not convinced. He is of the opinion. Caesar is of the opinion that for valid reasons Publius has been put behind bars, and Caesar cannot release him on such grounds. Caesar has no right to release Caesar, to release Publius Cimber on such grounds. So he is of the opinion that he will not release Publius. So for valid reasons, and that Caesar is constant as the northern star. So here Caesar compares himself with the northern star also. He compares him here a reference is given by Shakespeare with the northern star, as in the northern hemisphere above the northern pole there is a northern star, with the help of which during the Elizabethan period, or during the period of explorations, when the European explorers, they explored throughout the world from Europe, they sailed on the sea to explore new lands, so they took help of the northern star, which was regarded as constant and fixed. Though all these other stars, there are numerous stars in the sky, they all sparkle, but northern star by the explorers was regarded as a constant star, with the help of which they used to decide the direction of their sailing of the ship. So Caesar compares himself with the northern star. He says that as the northern star is fixed and constant, and so is Caesar with his decision, and Caesar cannot change his decision, or cannot be swayed easily for changing his decision. So just like the northern star, so very firmly and very firmly he compares himself with the northern star, and he is firm with his decision of not releasing for not releasing Publius Cimber on such grounds. So he's making himself clear with Metellus Cimber that he is not going to release his brother on any grounds, and his grounds of being imprisoned is being justified. So this is what is Caesar means. So the other conspirators thronging around at their voices. So the other conspirators thronging around add their voices to his appeal and move closer to Caesar. This is again a part of planning and plotting to assassinate or to kill Caesar. So all the conspirators, on the request of Metellus Cimber, they come close to Caesar and surround him. Again, I again tell you that it's a part of their planning and plotting. So they come close to Caesar. When Caesar rejects his plea, when Caesar rejects the plea of Metellus Cimber, Cimber rips the toga from Caesar's. Cimber rips the toga from Caesar's shoulder, and suddenly Casca strikes his first dagger blow at the back of Caesar's neck. So we see here that as soon as Caesar says no to release his brother Publius Cimber, Metellus Cimber quickly takes out the small sword that Caesar was carrying on his shoulder. He takes out the sword of Caesar's only, and Casca was the first one to stab Caesar on his back and at the back of his neck. So Casca was the first one. Casca strikes his first dagger blow at the back of Caesar's neck. Others follow the suit of stabbing Caesar, and each of the conspirators begin to stab Caesar, and it is when Brutus delivers the blow of the sword which is the last one. So we see here Casca was the first one to stab Caesar, and Brutus was the last one to stab Caesar. Caesar does not resist. So when Brutus stabs him, then Caesar makes no resistance. Makes no resistance. All the more, though he was already in pain, but he was pain of the dagger, as well as pain of his friend stabbing him was also very painful and a suffering for him. Cry. So the last words of Caesar were crying, "Et to brute." Caesar cried, "Et to brute." Then falls Caesar. He falls at the foot of his great enemy of Pompey's statue, and finally Caesar dies. So here we see in this scene and this particular act that Caesar finally dies. Thank you. I hope you have understood the summary, and I'll add it furthermore with the summary till here, and I'll add it furthermore in my next video. Follow me for more. Thank you. Do subscribe my channel Jyotishala, and do follow me on my Instagram handle Jyoti Ki Pathshala. Thank you.